Welcome back to Mr. Wicklam's virtual classroom. Today what we're going to be looking at is still in our number sense unit. We're going to be looking at multiplying by skip counting and adding on. Now when we talk about skip counting, what we mean is we're going to count by a certain number. So for instance, let's look at the number 2. So we're going to skip count by 2. So we're not just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and circle all the ones that are 2's. We're just going to go up by 2's. So for instance, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That's skip counting by 2's. Now we want to be, how shall I say it? We want to be good at every number up until 12. That is our goal. Is we want to be able to skip count by every number up until 12. And so we need to be able to do 3's, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. We want to be able to go up by 4's, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's what I mean. We want to be able to do that fairly quickly, and that is our goal. To help us get there, what we are going to look at is we're going to take a look, because this is what you're going to see in your book, because what we're doing is we're just skip counting, and sometimes you can use number charts to help you do this. And so what we have here is we have a problem, and it's 5 times 2. Now how can I show that on this number line? So it's pretty simple. We are going to go up by 5 2 times. Okay, most of you could skip count and do that in your head. Go up by 5's. And we can do it on the number line. So we got one jump, and there's our second jump. We go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And where are we at? We are at the number 10. Or you could just do it in your head. 5. And you can look at your fingers, and you can do it on your fingers. 5, 10. 2 fingers up, and that's our 2 jumps. 5, 10. Okay? Now, as you can see, I drew a hand because I want to be able to skip count by 3's. So when we're skip counting by 3's, what we need to do is and it's called adding on for a reason, because what you're doing is you're adding 3 every time. So when you're skip counting by 3's, it's basically, what's 3 plus 3? Well, it's 6. And that's what we mean by adding on and by skip counting. We're just adding 3 every time. So 3, 6, somebody can probably figure this out in your head. 9, which is 3 plus 3 plus 3. 12, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Because remember, multiplication is just the short form of addition, right? So 3 times 3 times 3 is 3 times 4, right? Because you have 4 3's, so 4 3's. Okay, and last but not least is 15. So what we're doing is we're just adding on, we're just going up by 3's every time, and that's all skip counting is, guys. Skip counting is just means you're going up by the same number. You're just adding on the same number. What you're going to also see in your book is you're going to have to find the product. So when we're doing multiplication, the answer is the product. Remember, in addition, it's the sum. In subtraction, it's the difference. In multiplication, it's the product. And so we want to be able to find the product by skip counting. So we want to go up 3 5's, or you could go up by 3 5 times, or you can go up 5 3 times. Either way, you'll get the answer. So what's if we go up, let's do 3 5's. Okay, so I'm gonna have my hand out. So 5, 10, 15. So if we add 5 plus 5 plus 5, that's what we'll get. We'll get 15. That's skip counting. Just going up by the same number. So let's do 7. I'm going to have my hand down. Let's do 4 7's. Okay, are you ready? 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 21. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 28. So I'm going to write that above. And that's what we want you to be able to do, guys. We want you to be able to skip count relatively fast. Okay? So, the next thing that you're going to see in your book is you're going to see where it asks you to write a multiplication statement. So what we need to do is we need to take a look at how many dots are in each box. Okay? So how many dots are in each box? Well, 1, 2, 3. How many boxes do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many dots do you have altogether? Well, let's do 6 3 times, or 3 6 times. Either way. 6, 12, 18. Or we could do 3 6 times. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then go back up here for the 6th, 18. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Skip counting, guys. Skip counting makes your life easier. Now this is the part where we get to adding on. This comes in very handy when you're dealing with some of those tricky numbers like 7s, 8s, and 9s. If you know how to get 8 times 5, but you don't know how to get 8 times 6, and you know 8 times 5 is 40, this is where adding on comes in handy. Plus 8 gives us 48. Some of us are good at doing that. Some others are not good at doing that. But this is where adding on comes in handy. So let's take a look at this array. Remember we were working with arrays yesterday. How many rows do we have? Well, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 rows. How many dots are in each row? 4. So we know that the whole multiplication statement is 4 times 4. Okay? What we want to do is we want to break this down because we want to add on. Okay, just kind of like what I did here. If you look at this array, there would be 6 rows of 8 dots. Okay, and so what we want to do is we want to break it down. So this little bracket here tells us that there's 1, 2, 3 rows times 4 plus this row right here. And how many is in this row? 1, 2, 3, 4. So how that's going to be written out is it's going to be 3 times 4, which equals 12, plus 4, which equals 16. And that's adding on. And when you get to those bigger numbers like 7, 8, and 9, we may be able to know what 7 times 5 is. 7 times 5 is 35. And then we might need to add 7 more. And then we can easily get to 42. Okay, that's just a simple way of being able to do 7 times 6 right here. We just break it down to get to a number that we know we can multiply by fairly quickly, add 7, so basically that's 7 times 1, so then you have 5, 6. Okay, and that's how we can get to numbers very quickly, by adding on. And that's just simple, basic adding on, and that's something that you are going to be doing in your books. And one thing we're going to do is, last but not least, is basically we're going to be doing this down here. So a smaller product and sum. So for instance, 4 times 2 equals 3 times 2 plus 2. So this is what we got. Sorry. Plus 2. Okay, because if you look at it, 2, 4, 6, 8. We still get the same answer. Let's take a look at another question. Let's do 6 times 3. Okay, so it's going to equal 6 times something plus something. So let's take a look at this. So we got 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's going to be 5 because we're going to take 1 row away. Okay, so 5 times 3 plus 3. And that's still going to give us the same answer. So 6 times 3 was 18. So equals 15 plus 3, which equals 18. You count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So all we're doing is we're just breaking it down. What we're doing is we're taking one row away, because remember, this is the amount of rows. This is the amount of dots in each row. Okay, amount of rows. So we broke it down, 5 rows, 3 dots in each row, plus 3. Okay, that's basically all we're doing today. That's multiplying by skip counting and adding on. This is Mr. Wicklum signing off.